I'm Intruder Green. You might know me from things like Rise Open Air Festival, Orleans Parish Prison, and Threads. Welcome to the Intruder Green podcast. It's part 2 of crossover with I'll Take a Shot at That. Me and Matthew got to talk to Pears on this one in Paris. Pears in Paris. You can't beat that fucking branding, right? All right. So I don't want to talk too much for the intro because we do a lot of that during the actual show. But I've got to give a shout out to the patrons, Luke Ellis, Elizabeth Bernards, Hedda Royston, John Nicholas, James Michael Lamar, Irving Edward, Donald, Calvin, Magoldison, Ayla, who used to be Pink, now she's Ayla. I think Ayla's her real name, and she realized that she would rather have a birthday shout out to Ayla, so I might give her a birthday shout out later too. Anyway, Vaughn Cotton, Chelsea McNally, Carlos Hernandez, and Jared Estep. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, everybody, for staying tuned and everything. It's been still been a little rough with doing this crossover thing because I didn't get the audio like right away to put it on the show. But it's coming out now, and I hope you enjoy it. And what else? Oh, yeah. On a Patreon, I set up a little thing like I said I was going to do with the last episode where I kind of rethought it, where now you can actually, once we get to like, I think I put it at $300 monthly. I'm going to start an account on all of these social whatever, social apps. I don't know. Is that what they're called? Probably. And dating apps, whatever. I'm gonna start a real Intruder Green account on those once we get to $300 a month. It's like a little incentive. Incentive. Yeah, that's the word. For maybe you guys, maybe you could let your friends know that they should get on this thing and make me do something I will probably regret later. All right. The other thing that I put on there is now the people who are on the $20 tier. I feel really wonderful that you guys want to give me so much money, but I feel like I should give you guys something a little more in return. So basically, you're going to get a personalized voicemail greeting from me. I'll do it for you, and I'll have to get your email so I can actually send it to you. That'll be in the works in the next week before we leave for the U.S. tour, which, by the way, we are hitting the road pretty soon. We're going to be in, like, I don't know, just all over the fucking United States with Mass Intruder. The lineup for the other bands that we're playing with, I'm really stoked on. You know, we're going to be out with Direct Hit, Ramona, this band called, I should just look at it. I don't need to go through it all, but I'm really stoked on all the bands we're playing with. Tightwire is one of them. Potty Mouth, that was the one I was thinking of. Now I'm going to leave some out. We're out with the Bomb Pops, too. I know there's one I'm forgetting. But anyway, look at the, you can see on our Instagram, we got the flyers up there, or all the social medias. You can go to massintruderband.com for if you want to get tickets to any of the shows and find out more information and stuff like that. Or you can just like message me or something. Actually, don't do that. Message me about like cool shit, like what kind of albums I want to listen to on a desert island or something like that. Or call me. You can always call. The call-in line is 1-608-535-9608. I would love to hear from you guys, and I do have a call-in to respond to, but I'm going to save it for the next week's episode, I think. Maybe later. Just want to have a lot of stuff for you guys, and I don't want to have you like make it a fucking 2-hour episode because nobody wants to listen to that. I don't give a shit if you're fucking Mark Maron or some shit. Nobody needs to listen to somebody babble on for 2 hours straight. Anyway, that's about it. I will speak to you guys soon, and I hope you enjoy the show. Without further ado, on with it.
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
Intruder Green,
an inmate at the Durham Correctional Institution. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Matthew Hendershot, sitting here in the I'll Take a Shot at That studios with the one and only...
I'm Intruder Green.
That's right. We are continuing on with part 2 of our crossover miniseries tour wrap-up, blah, 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 extravaganza.
Yeah. Stravaganza. Blah, 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 stravaganza.
Blah, extravaganza.
That's a great sales pitch there.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Just to get it out of the way real quick, if you are interested in the social media stuff, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all.com/shot-at-that to find I'll Take a Shot at That, or patreon.com/shot-at-that to support the show.
And you can hit me up as Intruder Green on all the social medias as well. It's just at Intruder Green. You can hit me up on my Patreon. It's just patreon.com/Intruder Green. It's so easy. And then the call-in line, of course, is 1-608-535-9608. Give me a call, leave a message, and maybe I'll put your voice on the internet.
So we're continuing through the July and August European Masked Intruder tour, and where we left off the last time was leaving from Münster, where we hung out with Joe McMahon.
That's right.
And making our way to the first of sort of the festival chunk.
Yeah, we had a lot of festivals on this trip.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Some more better than others. Yeah. I would say, like, the Back to the Future festival that we talked about last time, it got my expectations, I hate to say lowered because it makes it sound like it sucked.
No, like corrected.
Yeah, right. But like the rest of the festivals were like, I feel like it just went up and up and up.
Yeah, well, there's a really cool thing that Germany seems to do, and I might just be like naive to how this actually works or whatever. And I know that like upstate New York has a similar kind of vibe, but in the summertime, these smaller, like farmer type communities or small towns, there seems to be a smattering of them that pull off like a weekend festival deal, and they're not huge.
Yeah,
you know, but like, I mean, the week before the tour started, I kind of started tour early by going to Conrad Festival.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is down by Nuremberg and was like 700 people. And I think that a couple of these festivals that we went to were the same kind of deal. It wasn't, 20,000. I mean, like Punk Rock Holidays, 20,000, 30,000 people. But
it's kind of like everybody's just going to their local. It's almost like a local fair, you know?
Yeah, it's like a local fair and punk rock bands playing or rock and roll bands playing or whatever. But I think it's a super cool thing that these DIY festivals exist.
Yeah, I think it's cool too. Like it's the kind of thing that I don't know if you could pull off in America because there's probably so much more red tape involved, which is weird to think about that. More red tape involved in America than Germany. Wow.
Right?
But, but just like liability stuff,
Yeah, insurance and security and all that stuff, which everybody was really great about at these festivals. But they definitely run it more DIY and very loose.
That's right.
But the first of which was Reitz Open Air.
Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced. They asked us to do like a little promo video for them, not like a produced thing, but just do like a little shout out to them. And I had to do it before the festival, and I was calling it Rise Open Air, I think, because I was like, oh yeah, like air rises,
right?
Air, like somebody fought it.
I think somebody explained it to me that in German, if the I comes before the E, it makes the E sound,
right?
And if the E comes before the I, it makes the I sound because it's
or the A, it's like exactly. Well, anyway, this was an interesting festival.
It was.
The staff were great. Everything was actually pretty great.
It was on a plot of land owned by like an antique, dusty old man.
Yeah.
And I remember he was sitting outside, like directing traffic from his like get along electric scooter.
I kept thinking, man, this guy doesn't give a shit about punk rock.
Yeah, and he didn't care. His buddy came over and they were drinking like Crowder liquor in their little
why not
thing. But I think he had to have been in his 80s or 90s, and he's just like, yeah, sure. These kids come along, they give me some money, they set up in the backyard, they get loud, they use the house to like make the green rooms in the basement.
Yeah.
So it was very crunchy and independently organized, and was just a wild time. But honestly, the lineup for the festival was pretty fucking solid.
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't really remember the lineup, but it was probably good. I remember having a good time.
You got the lineup?
I don't.
In your hand.
It just says open air. But we had a lot of fun. One of the early opening acts that had like no crowd support just did a whole thing where they organized like a wall of death.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that and seeing some pictures.
And like nobody was doing it, but they didn't back away from it. They did it anyway. And what resulted was not a wall of death, but like 6 people running at each other and giving each other big hugs.
Oh, that's cute.
So that was a lot of fun.
That's what you got to do, you know? You're in it together.
But not everybody had such a good time at this festival.
Yeah, we had a great time. But not everybody. I don't know. Do we name the band or do we like? I think we don't name the band, but so that gives us more. What do you call it?
Mysteriousness.
Well,
diplomacy.
No, it gives us more of a right to just rip them apart. So,
you know what? Screw that. It was Ignite.
Okay.
It was the band Ignite. I witnessed one of the most amazing temper tantrums.
Matthew witnessed it. I don't know where the fuck I was when it was happening, but it was it sounds pretty amazing.
So it's a big outdoor area in a field, and it was dry, and there was some dust and some sand, like in the standing area, right? Like enough people had tread the ground to where the grass had kind of given way. And it was just dusty, but you're outside. Dusty. It was a festival.
I remember cleaning my nose and ears out later, and it was like, holy shit, there's like lots of dirt.
Yeah, I had camera equipment that was just coated in thin layers of dust, and I was super afraid to change my lenses while we were out shooting that. But the biggest temper tantrum of the night goes to the singer of Ignite, who did a song.
One song.
And then came off stage
and
refused to go back on stage. Because it was too dusty.
He did, but not only did he do that, he was like really having a temper tantrum. Right?
Yeah, he threw a massive fit. He was backstage talking. They brought a girl around, and I felt really bad for the girl because it wasn't the stage manager, because the stage manager didn't have good English.
Yeah,
so I think they went and found some girl who was a volunteer or a worker for the festival and had her talk to him. And man, you would think by the way that he treated this woman that she had put the dust there herself. Like it was a conscious decision.
Yeah.
And the things that he was asking for were crazy. He's like, do you think you could get like a fire truck here with a hose and just like hose down the ground so that it's wet?
Creepers.
And that way it's not so dusty? But he did one song and then left. I think the guitar player, they kept playing on stage.
I hate it when people don't move heaven and earth for me.
It was apparently, his words were, do you see this out here? It's disgusting. Yeah. Do you understand the word disgusting? Disgusting.
Yeah, that was the quote.
That was the quote that stuck with us. So everything that was a little bit gross or uncomfortable for the rest of the tour, we defined as disgusting.
Yeah, that's right.
3 big syllables. So, way to be punk rock.
Well, I guess that would be one thing if he just did that. And we probably wouldn't be talking about it if that's all it was, because people have meltdowns and, you know, things happen behind the scenes sometimes. And it's like, all right, you got to let that go. You know, everybody has a bad day or whatever.
Right.
But then he proceeded apparently to get a hold of some of the bands that were playing like the next day. And I don't know where we got this information from. I don't want to incriminate anybody, but he proceeded to like tell all these bands about how terrible the festival was and how they shouldn't come and all this stuff.
And
that's just fucking shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you expect to gain from that?
Well, I guess his expectation was that he would convince all these other bands that he had rapport with to not play
or something. And then what? He wins over the festival promoters?
Yeah.
So, like, they go belly up because there was some fucking dust in the air?
So ruin everything for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, it was dusty, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And it would be one thing, okay, if you were like, I don't know, like Celine Dion, right? To where your voice, or like Mariah Carey, where you've got like a really crafted voice and it's super important to who you are as a
In
performer.
which case, maybe you do have fire trucks pouring water all over the dirt.
Because you don't want, but you're a fucking shouter singer for a punk band, man.
Right. And you're in a fucking punk band. Deal with it.
Yeah. Like, be punk about it.
Right.
The one, so yeah, whatever. Screw that. That was a crock of shit. He left. He went all the way into the green room. he came back and was like, fine, I'll try. And he tried to sing a song from the side of the stage.
Oh, really?
So that he wasn't out there. And he tried, and then he came off the stage again and was like, fuck it, I'm over it.
Everything about that just seems like the lamest shit ever.
It was so prima donna, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But
well, maybe they'll make up for it somehow.
Maybe. I'd like to see how they're going to try.
Yeah.
But the thing about what I wanted to say was shout outs to my boy behind the bar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because
Nick Kazel, he's our buddy too.
Oh, you know.
Oh, yeah. He's been, I don't know what the heck he actually does. He probably explained it to me that day, but then I got real drunk and forgot about it. But yeah, he's been either promoting or like working at our shows since we started touring Europe. So we've known him for a long time.
That's super cool. Yeah. But he was hooking me up all night long.
Oh, yeah, he was.
With these shots of like homemade hazelnut liquor.
Oh, delish.
It was so good.
Well, maybe I did get some of that.
It was like an alcoholic Werther's original.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Oh, man, they were so tasty.
Damn.
And every time he saw me, I'd be running around like grabbing camera lenses or like moving gear or whatever.
Yeah.
And every time he saw me, he's like, hey, you need another shot? I'm like, are you kidding me? I'll take a shot at that. You can't offer me a shot, so I'm not going to do it. So,
that's right.
Yes, I'm going to do it. Let's drink. So that was a good time, too. So the whole thing with the drama didn't take away from what was a great show.
Oh,
and,
no.
And I think, great night that night.
That guy was just in his dramatic bubble, and I don't think it really affected anybody else. Like, that crowd was way too fucking drunk to be affected by that bullshit anyway.
I don't even know if they knew. I mean, they probably don't have any clue what was going on.
Yeah, they were like, this band is weird. Sometimes they got a singer, and most of the time they don't.
Maybe it's a new thing.
Yeah, all right. It's avant-garde.
So we followed up the Bausendorf Festival by one of my favorite locations.
Oh, yeah, for me too.
This festival in Goldenstadt was super cool.
I mean, I would say it was one of my favorite locations just because of what happened at the show.
Right.
But, yeah.
So Auftrei and Buten, the thing that I liked about it was immediately when we walked into the area, it's like a built-in amphitheater.
Yeah.
And what it looked...
all concrete.
Yeah.
Of course, because it's Germany.
Was like concrete to look like wood posts.
Yeah, that's kind of right. Yeah.
I remember describing it as like, it looks like if you go to like Busch Gardens or one of those, like the Knott's Berry Farm or like Disneyland kind of place or like Six Flags. And they always have that thing that's like the wild animal show where they bring out the snake and they bring out the eagle.
Sure.
And it's always like in this... It's an amphitheater, but they try and make it look like it's a natural habitat kind of thing.
Sure.
That's what that place looked like to me.
Okay, I could see that now.
And so I was immediately on board for that. It was a super cool spot.
Yeah.
And this was the first time that we experienced the power going out while you were playing.
That's right.
Not the last.
That's right.
But
I don't know what it is, because it was like, we were definitely not the first band. And I think we were the only...
It was in the middle of your set. You had played like 4 songs.
I know, but it was like these Kinks. I don't know what the fuck happened. And I'm pretty sure it didn't happen to any other bands after us. But it was like, I don't know. We got jinxed or something. And the power went out like in the middle of a set, like you said. And it's a special situation when you're on a stage and suddenly you got no PA, so you can't even talk to the crowd to make like jokes or something. You can't really play music. I feel like though we did have our amps. I think it was just the PA that went out.
I think the PA went out.
Yeah, because I remember like Blue played a little ditty and I did some dancing and that was real fun.
Well, the real saving grace of the power outage was that they had prepared like all of these toys.
Yeah, the toys were great. That made me think that we really need to step up our game when we're on our next tour and buy some of this stuff.
Yeah, so one of the things that they had was a compressed CO2 canister gun.
Yeah.
So it was basically like a fire extinguisher that blew a white frozen cloud of CO2 out of it.
Yeah, it was real cool.
And I think
refreshing too.
Purple got her hands on it, and I know Bradford Officer Bradford got shot with the CO2 gun.
Yeah, so did I.
You got shot with the CO2 gun. A couple people in the audience got shot with the CO2 gun.
It was great because, it's summer. We're all fucking hot and sweaty. And at some point after Bradford got shot with the CO2 gun, he came up to me and was dancing by me. And he was starting to do this thing where he gets all grabby on me and makes it real hard for me to play guitar. But his body was so cool. I was like, ooh, this is actually great. Please hold me tighter. It was wonderful.
Hold me closer, Frozen Dancer.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that was a good one, man. Auftreten Booten Festival in Goldenstedt. That was real nice. I also got to run into my buddy again, North Alone, who is a great, also kind of a pumpkin picker type.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he plays good punk rock style music, but all based around acoustic guitar.
Oh yeah.
And he was there with his wife and their little nephew. I think you remember their nephew, Henry.
Oh, yeah. We took a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, they were cool. They were at another show prior to that, but we caught up with them again at that concert. That was really cool. Oh, no. That was the first time we ran into him. Ran into him again later at another festival.
Oh, sure.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing them at multiple festivals. I felt like they were at one before that, too. But
well, I think Henry, the little kid, was at Gleiswein.
Okay.
In Münster.
All right.
So shout out to North. What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
Come be on the podcast sometime. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I feel like we had to leave that show early, and I was bummed because they had a big lake that was like we were parked backstage, and you could see through the fence. There was this giant lake with lots of hot girls in bikinis.
There were a couple of hot girls.
It looked real refreshing to be in that water.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that looks like a good time. I guess we gotta go.
And we had to go because we had a long drive the next day.
Yeah, to get to Paris, right?
Paris, France.
Yeah. And that was part of it, who doesn't want a day off in Paris? I mean, if you don't want a day off in Paris, then you're kind of cuckoo, I think.
So we got all the way into Paris. The venue was crazy.
Well, we had a day off first.
Did we have a day off first?
Yeah.
I thought the day off was the next day. The day off was totally the next day.
Okay. Well, fuck me then. Yeah. The show in Paris. Oh, yeah. We played on the boat again.
We played Le Petit Bon.
Yeah.
The Little Bath.
We played on that boat, once before. It's funny because they do boats. There's two boats in Paris that we played on now. And then there's a boat in like Rotterdam or something we've also played on.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking boats. I love playing on boats.
It took a minute to get used to being on that boat because it did have some sway.
Oh yeah, a little bit,
So you kind of felt drunk.
Yeah, especially when we're doing our show and I'm trying to like move around and stuff. There's definitely moments where I'm like, I don't want to fall on Blue when he's in the middle of a guitar solo or something.
And this was a pretty cool party. It was the punk rock or Paris Punk Rock Summer, so it was like a 2-day festival, I believe.
Yeah.
And we shared the show with a legendary band, Propagandhi.
Oh yeah.
So that was wicked cool.
There was a few legendary bands. I can't remember the whole bill. But there was that one that's like super old school, like even older than Propagandhi.
Was that Rudy?
You can believe that. No.
That was that festival though.
Well, they were on that one, but we met that band in the one before at Alt-Fright and Booten.
Right.
Yeah.
But
see, it's all
just
smoldering
smears together. Right?
It's like a goulash, a tour goulash in my brain.
But one of the bands that was on that bill, was Pears.
Oh yeah, good buddies of ours. We've toured with them, and same record labels and stuff. So yeah, love those guys.
Yeah, and we had a little bit of downtime before their set and before the Masked Intruder set.
That's right.
And we sat down and chatted with Pears.
Yeah, by the side of the canal or river or whatever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the main river.
Until we got interrupted.
We did. That guy was such a creeper.
Well, there was the guy.
It'll be in the interview.
Yeah, it's in the interview. You're going to hear that. And then,
and then
suddenly the police were there. And we're like, shit.
That was it. That's how good things come to an end when the cops show up.
Yeah.
So here, check this out.
Thanks for listening to the Intruder Green podcast. By now you probably heard about our sponsor, Stupid Rad Merch Company. And if you haven't, then listen up, because I gotta tell you, Stupid Rad Merch Company is a great web store with a bunch of your favorite bands at stupidradmerch.com. And if you're in a band and need some work done, they can get you totally covered for a modest price and super quick turnaround time. But don't just take it from me. Here's what the ladies from Bad Cop had to say about it.
Comes up with great ideas. It's always pushing, always moving.
Simeon is delightful to work with. He's very responsive and professional, and
It's the quality of the shirts. I like them.
yeah, high quality.
Very well done. Very well done on the ink. It
really
feels
does.
like a family again. It
Yeah.
feels like it's a place where you can trust what's happening.
And don't forget to use the code PRISON at checkout and get a 15% discount on all Stupid Rad branded apparel. That's PRISON, I think. I don't really know how to spell, but those are the letters they told me to say. StupidRadMerch.com.
StupidRadMerch.com.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready too.
We don't have shots again. We fucked this up.
I know. We should have got some shots.
We should have got some shots.
Can we all do it in the voice?
So
Why don't we all talk like him?
I can't.
It just naturally happens, actually, if you hang around Green for long enough.
I don't got that in me.
that's not your natural voice.
What are you talking about?
This is my natural voice.
So we're currently sitting in Paris, France, on the side of a walking path across from Le Petit Ben.
Bane. I
Bane.
think it means like the little little piece of bread or something.
The little bath, right? It's a
Oh yeah, the little
bath.
bath. That's what it is.
It's like taking a little bath. And we're joined by Pears. Pears,
Yo.
guys,
yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Pears. All right.
Hey.
why don't you guys go around, just quick introduce yourself to let people know what you do in the band, what your role is, etc., etc.
I'm Brian. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Zach. I sing.
I'm Jarrett. I play drums.
I'm Eric. I play bass and all the other things.
Bass and
Yeah.
all the other things. What other
Like what?
things?
There's no other things.
Backing vocals and
Yeah,
Sick.
that's good.
Yeah.
I do that too.
He introduces one of the songs every set.
Pumps the crowd
One
up.
of the songs.
Always good.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Always good.
Yeah.
Just a terrible one.
I'm
Yeah.
in Paris and I don't care because I'm a brat.
Have you guys been to Paris before?
Yeah,
Yes,
of
we
course
all
I've
love
been
it.
to Paris before. That's why I don't give a shit.
You
Don't listen
don't
to him.
care no
Don't listen to
more.
him.
You're over it.
Privately in the van, he says how much he loves and appreciates
Oh
Europe.
my God! Last time I came here, I bought a beret and a little black and white stripy shirt to wear
Oh.
during the show.
Oh, you caught a case of mime.
Yeah. I did.
There's a vaccine for that.
Oh.
There is?
Yeah, so you don't catch mime. It's like a big thing. It's like,
That
you know.
seems like something that seems like inappropriate way to spend medical research money on a vaccine for mime.
Oh, trust me, you do not want an international mime pandemic. That would be terrible.
I don't know. I mean, everybody would shut the fuck up a little, and then it would be kind of nice.
You know what would be great for a podcast medium if we all did our best mime impressions.
that would be great.
All right, let's see what you got.
I'm
All right,
a
let's see your
mime.
best mime.
I'm a mime.
Okay, here we go. Listen, if anybody was ever wondering, this is what my mouth sounds like when it's closed.
Wow, that's amazing.
This is what my mouth sounds like when it's open.
Wow, also amazing. You guys are like really good at this mime thing.
Thanks.
I don't think you should worry about that vaccine because you would just be really good mimes.
Wait, but is miming contagious?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, the only way
That's
out
fucked
is
up.
you have to fight a mime. And they're really good at it. It's crazy.
But I feel like they're never going to hit you, though, because they're just miming it.
Yeah, but have you ever been shot by a mime? That shit hurts.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
They believe in it so much that it just.
Yeah, you ever been pierced by a bullet made purely of will? That hurts.
It's fucking dangerous.
Yeah, not yet.
Which
but
will?
I'm sure it will happen soon.
Forte. Feral.
Yeah, that's the one. So how long have you guys been on this tour?
I think we've played 10 shows, probably 11 days.
Tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite Pears European tour so far.
That's good.
And how far in are you guys? How much do you have left?
We're creeping up on the halfway mark.
Okay, so maybe 40%.
Yeah, we're
Give or
about
take.
40% of the way. When I think of a tour, I think in terms of percentages.
Yeah, within margins
that's
of
right.
error.
You're all about the books.
Tonight was 7.5% of the tour.
But it 100% sucked.
That's right.
Yeah. Every night we 100% suck. Come and check it out.
Have you guys played on the boat before?
Yeah, we played here with Teenage Battle Rocket once.
Oh, that's right. You were saying that earlier. That's cool.
And have you all played on the boat before?
Yeah, we played on this specific boat, and then there's another one somewhere around here. It's got like the big light thing on it,
Yeah,
and we
so
played on that one. That one's more like a regular boat.
Y'all
This
played
is a-
on 2 boats, and you still felt like you needed a sound check, huh?
Yeah,
They did totally score a point against.
I
Master
know.
Intruder by
We're
skipping
playing this
soundcheck.
game that I was not even aware of until after I already lost some points, I guess. So I guess we got some catching up to do.
Were there negative points? I missed.
Well, they
caught the
scored
doling
points
out of
by not
points.
doing a sound check, and so we
I'm not sure how that works.
we lost
but
an opportunity to make points. I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So.
That's right. And
I miss 100% of the shots I do take too.
There you
So,
go.
I
Well,
mean,
you
like, for the record, it depends on who you are.
Do you
Eric's
say
never missed a
Kobe
shot.
when you take the shot?
Kobe.
I heard that's the trick.
Zach,
Yeah.
what is Kobe's last name?
Martin.
There you go.
yeah, that's right.
One of the greatest basketball players of all time, Kobe Martin. Shout out.
What up?
I did want to ask Zach specifically about your new thing you're doing with Band-Aid Brigade.
Oh, I'd love to talk specifically about that.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a cool new record that nobody wants to release. I'm really excited about it.
All right, so it's a full album though, because I've only seen snippets, and
Have I not sent you the record? I'll send you the record
Okay.
after we're done with this.
that would be awesome. Because what
yeah.
I've heard, I like.
Oh, it's super fun. It's
Yeah.
like everything that me and Wally love about 70s and 80s rock without all the bad stuff. Like imagine a Genesis song that rules that isn't 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
That's just 2.5 minutes long
Sure.
instead.
Yeah,
Well,
great.
I mean,
for the
part
new
of the reason
generation.
why it rules is because there's 8 minutes of it.
No,
It's like
No.
an all-you-can-eat buffet.
No.
No.
I don't
Well,
think
it's
so.
an all-you-can-eat thing.
Of
Well,
Genesis.
That's why my form is my form and your form is your form, my friend.
Oh, well. Now we're taking first shots in the gut.
Oh shit! Yeah,
See
that's
how it
true.
goes.
I seen him before.
It's an all-you-can-drink problem, not an all-you-can-eat problem.
Exactly.
Believe
Hey,
me.
That's
look,
true.
I can relate. 3 months ago, I was 30 pounds heavier, and I think it was all
That's
all
crazy
just
to
booze
me.
weight.
You always
Well,
look like this
what's your
whenever I
diet? I
see
need
you.
some
You haven't
tips.
seen him in a while.
What's
Like,
my
yeah, that's
diet? What
true.
is
Quit
my
drinking?
diet, guys?
Coffee, Red Bull, and an occasional apple.
Did
Yeah.
you stop
Wow.
drinking?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So I got to stop drinking. Well, that's not happening.
I know that's the thing. They're always like, you eat healthy food. You just got to stop drinking all those beers. And I'm like, I guess I'm going to be fat forever.
Yeah, I mean, being
Yeah.
fat's awesome.
That's where I was at too. But I just wasn't. I like New Orleans. It's really easy to just like kind of like put a chair on the median and then like drink outside and then
Yeah.
there went a week. Oh, there's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's kind of what was happening.
Does anybody ever accidentally like give you change?
No, because the people who are asking for change in New Orleans, doesn't matter how bad I could try to look.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I've been in New Orleans. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, you know when somebody's coming and gonna ask you
And
for
that's how they
quit.
judge. Like you could actually spange out there, and they'd be like, well, "You're not near fucking dirty enough."
Right? Yeah.
You have a whole half of your face that has no tattoos on it.
Yeah.
That's right.
You have all of your limbs. I'm not giving you any money.
Yeah.
Clearly, you don't need it.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, the Band-Aid Brigade record. We don't have anybody to put it out yet.
Okay,
but
so
there's
you're
another
searching
single
for it.
coming in like a month and a half, probably.
Oh, yeah, but that's a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
We're looking. We're
You
trying
guys
to-
are very active with these like snippets and clips that are coming out on social media.
Yeah.
So go ahead, plug it right now where people can find that stuff.
Band-Aid Brigade. I don't know. on Instagram.
So
with Band-Aid
Instagram
Brigade.
is real fun
Band-Aid
because you
Brigade,
put
yeah.
up those little videos. And
Yeah.
do you do full videos? I don't know if you got like YouTube
Yeah, we
shit
actually
up there.
we have a full like live session / doc that we did.
Really?
Yeah. That sit down from that
Yeah.
clip, there's like a whole like 15 minutes of that.
Okay, I gotta check it out because I've definitely seen the clips, but I didn't know
yeah.
there was like a whole.
Oh, it's not out. It's not out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We've got like a gold mine of stuff that we're just sitting on.
Nice.
Yeah, so that whole deal is kind of in the can. We're just trying to figure out how to release it.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's a good place to be. Unlike a lot of bands, I don't know if Pears works this way, but certain bands that I'm friends with, it's like, oh, our album's due. Well, let's take our time getting it done, so we're under the gun to like actually release it on time and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
It's cool when you can actually get it done and then be like, all right, now we can figure out exactly how this is going to come out.
Well,
Luckily, we don't have any due dates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool, but at the same time, I mean, it's stressful in a completely different way.
Sure.
You know, I mean, like we really like it's hard because we finished recording the record, not all the other stuff like the videos and whatnot, but finished the record in like November, and so it's been like we're so antsy. But, like, there was no plan set in motion beforehand, so
yeah.
yeah.
Well, shit. But
we had the rest of the band Pears sitting here with us.
I know. Well, that's why I wanted to bring it back.
In this conversation.
Of course.
Yeah, sure.
What's coming next for you guys? You're on tour.
Big stuff.
Yeah.
We're recording a new record in September.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be the best one.
I believe it to be true.
And yeah, like you were saying, I think this time, so we're not really setting a date for us to finish it. You know, we got to be done by the end of the studio time. But you know, we're not going
more studio time than we've ever booked.
Yeah, and we're gonna finish it before we plan on releasing it, so we can make videos and shit. And
that's
do it the right way this
we'll
time.
go into the studio and the songs are pretty much written. We'll go in and record them, and we're in and out in 5, 6, 7 days. This time we're spending 3 weeks in the studio. We're gonna try and be more creative than we ever had in the studio.
Yeah,
because
we have the time to do that.
We've never done it before, so it's gonna be very exciting.
Yeah, I think we're going in with more material than we've ever gone in with before. We've got like I think something like 25 like tunes.
Nice. Are you gonna try to release them all, or are you gonna like pick and choose the best ones?
For the record, we'll pick and choose the best ones.
Yeah.
But I think we're the end game is going to be to finish as many of them as possible.
Oh, sure.
But they're all still like works in progress, and I kind of think that's really exciting.
For sure.
Be in that place rather than like everything nailed down, demoed.
Right.
You know exactly how it's going to be before you go to the studio.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the things from Bambi Brigade. We're going to Fogel's studio in Black and Bloom in Denver.
I remember meeting those people.
Yeah,
I've never been to the studio, but I've heard of them for sure.
We did the Band-Aid Brigade record there, and it was such like a fun, creative experience. And I was like, we have to do this with Paris. We have to do like a book more time than we know we'll need, for sure, if we want to just bang out songs and experiment and try stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Nice.
So
yeah, we're gonna have Eric this time too, and he was the missing key all along.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
The missing puzzle piece.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't scream into the mic.
Let me see here now.
You want to play a game, Green?
I do want to play a game. What did you do? We should do a shot at that reference.
You want to do a shot at that game?
And then I got my thing.
Why don't you do yours? I think the last conversation we had, we kicked off with one of the shot at that games. So why don't you do your Would You Rather?
Yeah.
And then we'll do the shot at that game after.
I'm trying to get some good Would You Rather questions because most of them are like super deep, or they like say they're deep, and then it's like, come on, man, I heard that before.
As deep as a puddle.
Would you rather? Well, I feel like this is an easy one, but we could go with it, and maybe if it sucks, we'll do another one.
Okay.
Would you rather your shirts be always 2 sizes too big or 1 size too small?
2 sizes too big, easy.
Zach,
Right?
you wear extra smalls all the time.
Yeah, there you go.
Extra
But it's not
small is
extra
2
small for
sizes
you.
too big now.
There you go.
That's like, you've seen this guy. He just lost 30 pounds. He's gotta get those.
I
Extra
did
small
not
shirts.
have 30 pounds to lose, and I still lost 30
That's
pounds.
right.
I'm a little skeleton man.
That's right. I could use 30 pounds off of my torso, so maybe I need some extra large shirts though.
I feel like the ladies would like the tighter shirts, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm going with the size like smaller.
I'd do the same. So then I could also make it a crop top too.
Yeah, maybe that works out.
It's depending on how I'm feeling.
A little halter action. Cut the sleeves off.
2 sizes too big.
Eric just looked around like it was a secret.
I know.
For all you
It was
listeners
good.
out there.
Yeah, I liked it. I was like, oh, I wish we were filming this because it was great.
We'll send a video to you later.
What about you, Bird?
Excuse me? I'll go two sizes too large because I don't normally do that. It'd be a fun new experience.
Yeah, and plus that's more of a style than anything, right?
Yeah,
like
that's
you
in
could
right
be
now.
like, I'm in one of those. I don't know what was. It's the early '90s again, or whenever that was cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's debatable if it was ever cool.
Oh, it was definitely cool.
It might have been popular.
Check out my torso jinkos.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You can start wearing Jenkos too.
Torso Jinkos.
This is so
Like
fucking
actual
expensive.
Jenkos.
We were like, look,
They still sell them?
Zach was talking about those things like 2 or 3 years ago, and they just started making them at the time. And I was like, it'd be funny if I just bought him a pair and mailed them to his house. But they're like $200 fucking dollars.
Jeepers
No way.
creepers.
No joke is funny enough for that.
Wait,
Always expensive. But
They were always expensive.
2 to 3 years ago.
Yeah, this was a while.
23 years ago.
23 years ago.
Okay.
2 plus
When I was
3
5
is 23.
or 7. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I
2
don't-
plus 3 is 7.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Do you got something lined up for ITASAT?
Well, yeah, I thought we would take we could modify Germany's a Trip. We're in France right now, so we could talk about
Oh
France.
yeah, we should do that. Definitely.
So we have a game that we play on I'll Take a Shot at That called Germany's a Trip, which is where we get touring bands to explain things that they find unique and interesting about Germany. But we're in France right now, so we're going to modify it to France is a Trip. And what I want you guys to do is, since we're here in France, I would like for you to pause it and ponder for me the most confusing, like foreign, just can't understand it thing that you've encountered while being in France. And then the diametric opposite of that, the coolest, most out there fucking thing that is only in France that you've only encountered here.
And this is extra interesting because you guys are from New Orleans, which is like basically the France of America.
Yeah,
so,
right. Yeah.
you know, you guys will be extra good nation makers on this.
Okay, well, right off the top of my head, I've noticed that even in France, but mostly all of Europe, every 10 feet, different coffees mean different things. Like, you'll be in Germany, you'll order a cafe latte, and it's like mostly just hot milk. And they'll be like, oh, if you wanted more coffee, you had to get the cappuccino. And then today in France, I get the cappuccino, and it's all hot milk.
That's true. I noticed that.
well, but
too.
that's how you make a cappuccino.
But on the positive,
I just want
if you're a
coffee.
real coffee drinker and you get your coffee black, you're never going to be disappointed in Europe.
That's true.
False.
Yeah.
False.
But some places just don't
unless
make
you get the
regular
little
coffee.
bitty
You gotta
baby
get espresso
black
every
coffees.
time.
Oh no, there's like espresso, like black coffee. That's great. Like Road Stop coffee in Italy is gonna ruin you for like Road Stop coffee in Switzerland.
Yeah, you want to get the cappuccinos in
All right,
Italy. I found that out.
The weirdest thing in Paris to me so far that I've seen is the guy in the Joey Cape t-shirt looming over the balcony behind you guys while we do this interview, breathing really heavily.
Oh God.
Oh no, he's there. I just made eye contact with him.
Nice.
I don't
Is
know
it
what
Joey
to do.
Cape?
No.
It looks kind of like him. He's breathing as heavily as he does.
Oh, there. Yeah, that's right. He's probably here for the show.
Probably.
He probably made you all.
Okay, and
He knows your master intruder.
my favorite thing about Paris is
Not that.
That cheating scooter that just drove by that had 3 wheels on it.
There he is.
NA.
NA.
Not Narcotics Anonymous. Like I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Not
Oh, okay.
applicable.
Oh, Jared's gonna double up here. This is gonna sound great.
I like it all. I like all that France has to offer.
There's nothing weird that comes up. that you
No,
can think of?
we don't talk to that many people.
Oh yeah.
So everyone's just really nice, and they seem to get us.
I don't make any friends. I'm depressed.
The worst thing that happened to us in France was on the Rise Against tour. The washing machine wasn't working properly, and we had to bring all our wet clothes in bags.
Where did we play at
Luxembourg.
that show?
Brought them to Paris.
Where
And
was
then
our Paris show?
Here, Bataclan.
Oh, right.
That was cool.
Yeah.
If we're trying to get heavy for a minute, that
place is fucked
that was
up, man.
wild.
They don't have laundry there.
Yeah, I believe it. Oh, you got
the extreme top cool thing that you can't get anywhere but France.
Yeah.
And then the extreme weird thing that you only encounter in France.
Cool thing,
And
bread.
green. Oh, sorry, what?
Cool thing's the bread. Always got good bread here.
Great bread.
Never
Yeah, I
not
agree.
have bad bread here.
Like in
Yeah,
Germany, we got
here
good
we
bread.
come.
yeah, bread or not, here we come.
That's right.
Yeah.
I would have put that in my weird thing because I had breakfast here. This was in the East, not in Paris. But I ordered like French breakfast, and it was 3 different varieties of bread
Yeah.
and some butter.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
That's what we
I
got
get
this
it.
morning too. Wherever we woke up,
No,
Hi.
please.
the guy in the shirt's here interrupting.
I'm sorry. We are doing an interview. Can it wait for a moment? Thank you.
It's okay. Yeah, I would say the weirdest thing to me is the language. It's real confusing.
Oh,
It's real hard.
The weirdest thing isn't that the guy's now closer than he's been the entire time.
Yeah, I mean that is pretty much probably the weirdest thing happening right now.
Yeah, they don't have that guy in New Orleans.
Hey, New Orleans has got plenty of fucked up shit though.
I'm that guy in New Orleans.
Yeah, that's right.
Also, another cool thing they got in Paris, this venue. It's on a boat.
That's
they don't
right.
have any
Multiple
venues on
venues on
New
boats
Orleans.
around here.
Yeah.
It seems this whole strip is just up and down. It's like pub crawling, but on a river.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like that.
I would say a shout out to also like maybe a runner-up weird thing, not necessarily about Paris, but have you guys tried the gas station sandwiches in France?
Yeah, absolutely. Love them.
You love them.
Yeah.
That's
I'm comparing that to the German gas station.
But also,
sure.
I was looking at his sandwich earlier, and it was a lot of bread and like one slice of salami.
No, it was prosciutto, and they put butter on it too, which I thought was kind of weird because I don't know why I need more butter.
It makes it better.
I feel like I should.
You got to butter.
I feel like I should.
One letter difference between those two words.
I feel like I should have my choice if I want to add butter or not. You know,
right.
Butter goes on everything, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Green, I have a question for you about tonight. Actually, I mean, this is just something I wanted to talk about in general, but especially interesting to talk to you about. So tonight we're playing on a boat.
That's right.
Maritime law.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't apply.
I mean, it might apply.
Not here. Certainly.
Frankly, I don't care that much because I'm going to do what I'm going to do anyway. You know?
Right, of course.
But it might be a little easier to get away with things, you know.
Me and Brian killed a guy immediately.
Good for you. I mean, that's bad. Don't do that. But, getting away with crime is getting away with it. Is sick. It's definitely sick.
Yeah, that is actually the police.
Oh, I hope they're not going to fuck with me.
They're probably going to fuck with us.
Oh, yeah, because we're in their way.
Yeah, I guess that's the end of the interview, guys.
All right.
We got to get it. Thanks so much, Pears, for joining us. We're looking forward to a great show tonight.
Yeah.
And we got to stop because here's the cops.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, and then we went on to play, went on to rock out a really cool show on the boat. Lots of cool things happening. One of the things that has to be mentioned from the Paris show.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
That at one point, I had walked into the green room bathroom.
Yeah.
And, you're like walking along, and all of a sudden I put my foot down, and it's like a little whoop. Like a little slip.
Oh.
And like a little slip and a twist.
So you were the one who discovered it.
Yeah. Well, no, I apparently didn't discover it. Somebody else had discovered it and done nothing about it.
Oh.
But I just had like a little slip of the foot.
Yeah.
So I picked my foot up and I looked down, and what I saw and what I thought I saw was like, those brown paper towels that you always find in the bathrooms that you dry your hands on?
Yeah.
And sometimes people aren't really good about hitting them in the trash. And like they get on the ground, they get extra wet, and they glom up.
Yeah.
And so what I saw was what I thought was a wet, used, shitty paper towel.
Oh.
But
it was literally shitty.
It turned out to be literally shitty because a human being had taken a proper shit on the green room bathroom floor.
Yeah. Which, I've been at plenty of truck stops and stuff like that, especially in America where I don't understand how people manage to get poop where they do, but this is like a green room bathroom. It's restricted to the bands
and some
like
crew, maybe.
And some crew, but it's like one bathroom that the whole fucking backstage is sharing.
Yeah.
Including fucking propaganda and all this stuff. And it's like, But it opens up so many questions.
It really does.
Number one, who done it?
Right.
Also, why?
Yeah, I mean, you want to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? That it was just an accident.
Right.
Like maybe you were in a hurry and you would
It's a
like,
hell of a
I'm
hurry.
not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. And you just like shart out a little poop before you
Yeah.
make it to the toilet.
Yeah. And
Or-
then not clean it up.
Or maybe you didn't know you did it.
Yeah.
Maybe you stood up a little bit before you were finished and that last little boop kind of boops out onto the floor.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I honestly can't fathom a realistic scenario in which this makes any sense whatsoever. That there would just be like a miniature Snicker sized human poop
maybe it
Not
was
like
a
toilet
miniature
paper?
Snickers. Maybe it was like a whole Caddyshack situation.
Man, I sure hope so, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think it was.
Well, a man can dream.
Yeah. Then we had a day off. Then the day off in Paris.
Oh,
came.
and what a beautiful day off it was.
We did some sightseeing.
Yeah, our tour manager Tommy McGeehan, Irishman,
the best.
He was great.
A legend.
Yeah, legend. That's right. He's from the UK, so we call him a legend.
Lives in Paris now.
Yeah,
as well.
Also, I think he would take issue with me saying he's from the UK.
Oh, were from the UK, Scotland, right?
Yeah. No, he's from. Yeah, right. Yeah. No. Okay.
No.
We know he's from Ireland.
Proper Irish. Tom's a legend. He's awesome.
Proper fucking Irish, and living in Paris now. So he was a great tour guide of Paris. He fucking just put us in a van and drove us around Paris, which is super fucking hectic.
We published all those pictures, right?
I don't know if we published them all.
Yeah, we did. They're on the Instagram. Okay. They're on the Mass Intruder Instagram for sure.
Yeah, we did all of them.
We'll do it again though.
Yeah,
because we went to like the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah,
the Eiffel Tower.
That's right.
We
went
that church.
We went by the Champs Elysees, I think.
Yeah, we went by.
I feel like I missed it. Like I feel like he was talking about something when we did it, and I was like, "Wait, where's the Champs Elysees?" And it was like we're on it, but it was like you got to look at it from afar to really see how beautiful it is.
Right.
Like if you're on it, you're just like, we're just on a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
But the Statue of Liberty, the fucking Eiffel Tower. It's a special moment. It was a special moment for me the first time I saw it, like on our first tour, like kind of like, when people call something breathtaking, you're like, oh yeah, I know what that means. It means it's really spectacular. No, it's like breathtaking is literally the feeling I experienced when I first saw the Eiffel Tower, because then we got to go like right underneath it, and it was night, and it was all lit up and everything. But it's always just such a beautiful thing to see and to appreciate, because I mean, without knowing too much of the history behind it, it seems like it was just like, these fucking French people, they're like, I want to make something that's the most beautiful thing in the world, and I'm going to do it, and here's the Eiffel Tower. And you're like, oh, they accomplished their goal.
Success.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
What else did we see, though? We
went to that
did we
crazy
just fuck
church?
around a bunch?
The church on the hill,
yeah, with all the dead people buried underneath
underneath
that they lie about.
Yeah,
that's right. That's why in the picture that we took, I'm pointing down.
Yeah, because you're giving some respect to the bodies underneath you.
That's right.
That was cool.
Bodies. And we hung out in a fucking English pub.
Next
in Paris, to it. I'm
France.
like, okay, I guess this is cool. We could be at like a regular French restaurant or bar or whatever, drinking wine, but instead we're drinking cider at a English pub right next to this church.
Yeah,
it was cool though.
Yeah,
there was booze
cool.
involved.
That was cool. We stayed at a really cool house.
Oh yeah, it was Yoko. Yeah, his place. He's a good artist too.
Yeah, really cool.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Joko and his artwork. We'll have to put the link in the description so you guys can go check out his graphic design and artwork stuff. He's super cool dude.
Indeed.
And then we went back to Le Petit Bon for the next night and partied with Less Than Jake.
Oh, that's right. Oh, too many buds in town all the time on this tour. It was great.
Yeah, well, that was the beginning of us really crossing paths with Less Than Jake, and we kind of did like support for them on several shows after.
Yeah, well, a lot of the festivals we played with them at, right? I think.
Yeah, a lot of the festivals you were either back to back with Less Than Jake, or a couple bands
later.
Ahead.
Yeah, it was a good
that was
time.
cool.
Love seeing those guys.
Those guys turned out to be a lot of fun. I got a bunch of good pictures of one of their sets too.
Nice.
But yeah, that English cider got us all revved up, because then we left France and we took the Channel.
Oh, the Channel. Yeah, that's what it is.
It was Tom that was laughing his ass off that he had never heard the term Channel before.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if I had, because when people say it, I'm like, I probably just had bad hearing and I heard them wrong. But it makes total sense to call it the Channel.
Well,
it's the tunnel that goes through the channel.
Yeah, it's the Channel Tunnel. The Channel.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a good one. And we ended up in London.
That's right.
London might have been one of the craziest and most fun club headliner shows.
Yeah, man.
From the whole tour.
It's fucked up. Like London is just it's like one of our best cities to play in. I remember the first time we played London, I don't remember what the fucking name of the club was, like Excalibur or Macbeth or something Shakespeare like related, like Excalibur. But it was like a bit of a smaller show for that one because it was our first one there, but it was packed to the brim, like way over capacity, and people were like running across the bar to stage dive and stuff like that.
Nice.
And this visit did not what's the word? It didn't
disappoint.
Yeah, it was like right on par with that. It was just a bunch of rowdy English people having a good time.
The New Cross Inn.
Yeah.
In the New Cross district of London.
Yeah.
Super cool place, super cool bar. Lots of just people getting down.
Yeah.
There was a little tiny intruder that showed up at the show with his own mask.
Oh, that kid was freaking me out because I thought it was Blue. It looked just like him.
It looked like a tiny version of Blue.
That's right.
But loads of fun people, and we ended up having a pretty good time that night as well.
Yeah. Yeah, not much else to say about that. It was a good time, and we partied
Yeah, we
hard.
didn't really have any good, like, hey, we're in London. We were kind of in and out of London pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's true, which I think is a good thing to do because you can, like, probably party too hard or something. And, yeah, I don't know. We just didn't seem to have a whole lot of time. We had to go to Stafford the next day.
Stafford was cool.
Yeah, Stafford was real cool. Remember the sound guy? Yeah, he was real funny.
I don't know that I met the sound guy.
Oh, well, yeah, there was.
Oh, I did. I did at the end of the night. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody realized that we were happy to have the guy who was on tour with Pears doing their sound.
Matt,
yeah, he
Australian Matt.
Yeah, he did sound for us that night, and it was so funny because like the house sound guy was making it very obvious that he wasn't very good at his job, and was like, "Oh shit, I gotta take notes from this guy." And he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna just keep all your presets and use those all night." I'm like, "All right, buddy, you go for that." But
was that so that was one of the hottest shows of the tour?
Probably, yeah.
Because the venue itself was upstairs at the bar.
That's right.
There was no airflow or anything. I was covered in sweat. There's a photograph that I have shared. Met the in-house photographer Jody.
Oh yeah,
and she was cool.
Mm-hmm.
She's really awesome. Shout out to Jody Photography, Jody Cunningham Photography.
Nice.
I got a card somewhere. I can get it right. But I'll make sure that it's connected on the show notes, and we'll tag her. But shout out to her because she actually took a snap of me taking some snaps of you guys.
Oh, nice.
That I published out there. But you can see that I'm just like covered in sweat from head to toe.
Oh yeah.
I also had to do some body blocking because everybody kept falling into the stage and knocking the microphones over and shit.
Those shows are fun though. Like I know we have, some reason to complain about that stuff. But I love it. As long as people aren't being aren't trying to do that, but when they get body pass and they knock a mic over, it's like I fucking love a little bit of chaos. It helps us fucking it keeps things interesting.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah,
Keep
that's right.
Fresh and new.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was also the night that we tried to find the bar after we had gotten back to the hotel, and we took a hike through, I don't know if you came with us. It was me and Blue and Red.
Yeah.
And a couple of the guys from Pears.
Okay.
And we tried to go to a bar, and I think we walked like 15 minutes to like a Spetti.
Okay.
And it was closed.
Oh.
So it was a whole wasted trip.
Sounds very uneventful.
Yeah.
But
we walked over a really cool bridge that you could see like
you guys probably needed some extra booze at that point of the night because fucking dopamine drank all our fucking whiskey. Motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The dopamines showed up. It was kind of a confusing green room. I think I ate some of Pear's food without realizing I had done it.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like I hate it when I understand it's tough to be a promoter and have all your shit together and everything. But, they put all the food together and it's like, well, they bought some for some bands, but they didn't separate it. So, of course, we get out of the van. First thing we want to do is eat some fucking snacks, drink some beers, maybe take some shots, a whiskey or whatever. So, yeah, some of it's going to get mixed up. But Dopamines absolutely knew that was not their whiskey.
Yeah,
they just fucking
like, oh, we're gonna drink all the Master Intruders whiskey,
like with a purpose.
Oh, to our listeners out there, especially the fans of I'll Take a Shot at That, who might be wondering about why, as we're doing this recap, we're not taking shots.
Oh shit! Yeah.
We're both kind of shotted out.
Yeah,
because the rider for the whole tour definitely included a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
And we definitely domed shots straight from the bottle almost every night of the tour.
We paid it forward.
Yeah, we definitely banked up.
And I'm fully detoxing right now. I can't fucking I need to go a week without booze. Matthew, you're having a beer though.
I am.
You want to talk about that one?
Yeah, it's a pretty Potwall Natural Radler. This is the Brauer & Co. Leipzig. This is local beer.
Oh, nice.
They're the ones that do the Funky Forel, the fish beer. Funky Forel is the name of their Pilsner.
Okay.
And this Pretty Potwall is the name of their Natural Radler. But this is made here in town.
What's the name of it? Because you got a fucking brewery right down the street from your place that we need to check out one of these days.
I don't know. This is Brauer & Co. Leipzig. And the name of the beer...
I don't know if that's the one, but it might be, though.
And the name of the beer is Pretty Potwall.
That literally might be from, like, 2 blocks away.
I don't know. We'll see on the... No, this is Chemnitz.
Oh, right.
It says Chemnitz. I lied. No, it doesn't make sense.
Anyway.
Oh, no. Weidmannstrasse 1 in Leipzig. No, it's not the one down the street. This is 04315.
All right.
But if you're interested in learning more, I would say that you go to Brauer & Co. Leipzig. But it's a Radler, so it's like half of a beer.
Is it pretty good Radler?
It's delicious. I'd offer you a try, but you're not drinking at the moment, so
yeah, it doesn't matter.
So, but we definitely paid it forward on the shots, so be forgiving of us listeners on that regard.
And we'll be back on it once we get
absolutely.
That.
In fact, I gotta
June.
connect with our friends at Leipzig Spirituosa Manufacturer, who are going to start sponsoring the show again as soon as we get back into regular episodes.
Yeah. So Dopamine stole all our booze. We still had a good time, and then we went to Blackpool.
Oh wait, before we go, I do want to make a special note that anybody that's out there that might go to Red Rum in Stafford,
that was the place.
Hit up the Iron Maiden pinball machine.
Oh, the Iron Maiden pinball game was great
because
that's a fucking
Intruder Green.
Yeah.
Got to set the new record for most bullseyes shot on that game.
I don't think I set the record. I was on the board.
No, you set the record for most bullseyes.
Oh, I got the record?
Yeah, you were 8 bullseyes. It was you could put your name in for most bullseyes.
I didn't realize
that. And then 4th place high score, the one and only Dave Nobody.
That's right. Dave is a fucking pinball wizard. That motherfucker. He might not like it so much that I'm calling him a wizard. But
he's more of a barbarian.
Yeah, and more than that, some kind of like Mountain Yeti half breed, but
Mountain Yeti barbarian.
Yeah, I think so.
Multi-classing.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, he's real good at pinball. I'm all right at it. Like I don't have quite the skills that he does, but that pinball game, I would say, as someone who considers themselves somewhat of a connoisseur of pinball, that's an extra special game. Like it's got a real good flow to it.
It was super
The fact
cool.
that you can put it into different modes. So like you choose the song and then suddenly like the game is
Objectives
themed based
change,
on that
yeah.
song. That's real cool. I like that they're that's a good way to go with it. A good way to embrace. People are always struggling to like make pinball games cool again. Like I think classic pinball games are just as cool as they need to be.
Oh man, I love it. The flat bally tables that are like extra wide that don't have anything but like 3 bumpers up at the top.
Yeah.
That's my jam.
But these newfangled ones where they got like 3D graphics and stuff, and it's like, that's just shit gets a little distracting for me.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of nailed it with this one, I think. With the way it's like I don't know, just you gotta be able to like listen to it loud and fucking I don't know.
What are your top 3 pinball machines?
Oh man, just my number one all time might be Medieval Madness.
Ooh.
I love that one. I actually had a dream about it, and I didn't even realize it was about it until later. But that one's real fun. Suddenly I'm drawing a blank. Attack from Mars or whatever.
Attack from Mars is a good pinball.
Yeah, that one's great. I love it when you do the thing and all the little green guys jump up and down. It's like so cute. But that one, and then maybe like I've always had a thing for the Addams Family.
Oh, the Addams Family pinball machine is so
or like
good.
The Twilight Zone is real good too.
Yeah.
There's so many good ones though. It's really hard to pick.
Yeah.
I would say that like also it's not one of my favorites, but it was around for a long time is the Lord of the Rings pinball game.
Mm-hmm.
I like they do the ring thing and you can get the ball stuck in there. There was a place I used to go a lot and I had the high score on there. No. I didn't have the high score. I had the second spot, and there was this guy who literally was a pinball wizard. He had like this big long beard, and like he didn't clip his fingernails and stuff, so he looked real gross. And
but he was really good at pinball.
Oh, he was amazing at pinball, and he had this high score that was like unbeatable.
Whoa!
But like I played the shit out of that game, and I almost got there, but I even got to the point where like you're in the game and you gotta fucking hit the right things to throw the ring into fucking lava and stuff. But yeah, couldn't beat that high score. But yeah, as much as, and I played that game a little too much for it to be in my like top 5 favorites because I got burnt out on it. But it's got to get like an honorable mention because of that.
For me, it would be Simpsons.
Oh yeah, that's a great
Simpsons
one.
pinball machine was awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Jurassic Park.
I never played that one.
The Jurassic Park one was wild. They had a T-Rex that would like come down and eat your ball.
Oh, that's
great.
If
you got it in the ball lock, it would like eat your ball up.
Nice.
So that one was dope. And then there's an old Bally table that's called like Roller Coaster Madness or something like that.
All right. Yeah, I think I remember
it's like
that
a whole
one.
crazy roller coaster theme park one, but it's one of those old school ones. It's like extra wide.
All right.
Like the Bally style table where it's like flat. It doesn't roll so much.
Okay.
But it had all the metal tracking
Sure.
to where you could do these crazy roller coaster loops and shit.
Oh, that sounds good.
And that one was loads of fun.
Yeah.
But Simpsons, I think, was my favorite.
Oh yeah. That's a real good one.
All right, enough pinball.
Yeah, I could go on and on about that.
After Stafford was so this was one of the coolest stops for me personally.
Me too.
Rebellion.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was real cool. Also, I feel like should we be like real in depth with journalists on this and reveal a truth about Blackpool?
You should always reveal the truth.
That's what we're all about.
Always be honest. Yeah,
we never fucking lie about shit in Mass Intruder.
No, we don't make anything.
That's
up.
right. So I kept saying like, "Oh, hey, we're on our way to Blackpool," and everybody's like, "Oh, Blackpool, what a shithole." And I'm like,
a lot of people were talking shit about.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh man, really? There's this big festival. Maybe that's why the festival happens there because it's a shithole and nobody cares about nothing. But they have this festival, and that's like the only reason people go there." And I don't know what I'm pretty sure. Well, anyway, I'll tell the story. We get there. And, we load in and we see the festival and it's all happening and everything. And I'm like, well, this is fine, whatever. And then somebody's like, hey, I'm going to go down to the water.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what the fuck? And I look at the maps on the Google, and then I'm like, holy shit, there's a like water right there. I walk down there. And it's this beautiful fucking boardwalk with this huge beach. They got carnival rides and everything like that.
There's like a weird tower.
A weird tower. They had like their own Eiffel Tower there.
Did you see the dungeon? The tower dungeon? I wanted to go in there so bad.
It's like fucking English Disneyland.
They had
on the beach.
Well, it's more like English Coney Island, I think.
Well, right. That's what I mean.
Which I get why
it looked like
kind of shitty.
Yeah.
It was like an It's kind of like Atlantic City. If you ever been to Atlantic City, Green?
Oh, I never been to Atlantic City. I've been to the Jersey Shore and Santa Cruz, and they both reminded me of that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. There was a big pier. There was a lot of carnival rides.
That's right. And I figured out like, oh, that's why everybody says it's a shithole because they're just joking.
Oh, you think?
I think they're just joking because it was beautiful. The fucking big ass beach.
They're trying to like dissuade tourists from go there so they can enjoy it themselves.
I don't know. I think it's that English humor. They're just like, they're real good at fucking sticking it to people, and I don't know, the sarcasm. It's like it's not even sarcasm at a certain point. They got to come up with a different word for it.
This is too good.
Yeah.
No, but Blackpool was rad, and the Rebellion Festival was super rad.
Yeah, got to see a lot of cool bands.
Yeah, we did.
That's when we saw encountered Descendants for the first time on the tour, right?
Yeah, and that was an amazing experience. I saw Punk Rock Juggalos. In the band called Wasted or something like that. I can't even remember what the name of the band was.
Sounds about right.
Saw 2 sets, an acoustic set and a rock and roll set of the Barstool Preachers, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
So shout out to TJ and the Barstool Preachers and those guys. They were super nice and cool. You guys had a kick-ass set at that the audience really, really enjoyed in the massive Victorian ballroom.
Yeah, that ballroom was amazing looking. Everybody was telling us before we got there, like, "Oh, this room you're going to be in."
Empress Ballroom, I think is what it was actually called.
Yeah, probably. There was like gold on top and stuff.
But yeah, the massive highlight of that whole thing was being on the side of the stage, knowing that the Descendants were coming on.
Oh yeah.
And were you there with us when we got the initial grab?
No,
you weren't.
I think I walked up later. I was fucking off.
So like security was holding some people at bay. Like even in the backstage area, they were like, no further than this. Blah blah blah. And the tech, the crewman from the Descendants came over, and we were there with Tom, and we had made friends throughout the day, and we were being really cool. And it was like me and Tom and Purple and Blue, and maybe Red was there with us. And you came around later, and a couple of guys from Pears were there.
Yeah.
But there were like, I don't know, like six of us, I think.
Yeah.
In this small group. And he came over and he's like, "Are you coming with me?" And we're all like,
That's right.
What? What you talking about? He's like, "Well, you're either coming with me right now or you're not coming at all." And we're like, "Well, then yes, we're coming with you." Because, Ray, if someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
That's right.
So we just followed him, and he's like, "All right, come with me." And he walked us straight up the steps to the back of the stage, around the back of the bass amps to where his little station was, and was like, "Okay, there's 2 seats over there right behind the drum kit that you can sit there and watch the drums, or the rest of you can stand right here on the side of the stage in the corner and watch the Descendants right from the side of the stage."
Nice.
And that was awesome. I posted a couple pictures on my personal Instagram at Shot at That, so you can see that. But it did lead to making a relationship to where a few shows later, I actually shot a significant number of photographs of the Descendants, which I'm really excited to get edited and published onto Facebook and Instagram because I think those will be really cool.
Hell yeah.
So shout out to Descendants and the Descendants crew for being awesome dudes, and to Rebellion for just being a kick-ass festival.
Yeah, it was great. Hope we can do it again sometime. And then after that, we went to Southampton, which we're at Joiners again, or the Joiners is what they call it. And we've definitely played there before. It's always like a fucking stoker of a show. And I think that night was no different.
It was a wild. So Southampton's a wild place.
Yeah.
It seems super small and provincial, kind of.
Yeah,
but I honestly don't know how big it is. It was just like a provincial mentality of people.
Provincial. Like, what are they trying to prevent?
Like, no, not preventative, but provincial. Like small towny.
Like a proverb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not exactly.
Oh. Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like we went in there and our buddy Ricky Bates.
It was pretty much no frills, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's not a fancy place.
Not at all.
But it got the job done for punk rock.
That's right.
And the show was really solid.
Yeah.
And we met some cool people.
Mm-hmm.
And
got to meet the couple. Excuse me, I got some sausage in my mouth.
Oh, that's a good spicy sausage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet the crew. Does the what's my band called? Mass Intruder fan page. Yeah. They do that thing on Instagram, and you can follow them. It's just Mass Intruder fan page on Instagram, and I really appreciate them doing that. And because not everybody has a fan page, and it's pretty special that we just have like a couple super fans who are doing it just to kind of put more content of ours out there, which, these days with the internet the way it is, I guess that's what you need all the time anyway, is more content constantly. So they're real helpful for that. And you should go check them out. And
Well, and it was super cool because I got made after the show. I was doing some breaking down, and Luke came over randomly and it was like, "Hey, you're Matthew, right?" was like, yeah, hi, nice to meet you. I have no idea who you are, random person. He's like, oh, no, I run the, I'm involved in the Masked Intruder fan page, and I'm a fan of your podcast. I listen to I'll Take a Shot at That. I think it's great, and I listen to the Intruder Green podcast, and I think it's great. Yeah. He's like, you guys got to keep up the good work. So that was really cool to be like outed in public, and somebody knew who I was. And so right. Shout out to Luke. Thanks for being a supporter, buddy.
Absolutely, and thanks for the fan page thing. Like I said just now, it's
at Masked Intruder fan page on Instagram to follow.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
It's great. We appreciate it.
And after the Southampton show, that was it. We had a crazy night.
Did you guys? Night. I mean, I slept in a van that night.
You did. Yeah. I mean, that's a bit of the craziness. I think they took us, it was about 2:00. And we had to get up at 4:00.
That's right, to get the ferry.
Because then we headed back to the mainland. And I think that this is probably a good place for us to wrap up this episode.
I think so, too.
And we can take the third part of the series to talk about our return to the mainland and everything that followed after that. So
we saved the ferry ride for that, too?
I mean, let's talk about the ferry ride. And then we can say goodbye to the UK by the way that we did the ferry.
Yeah.
We took a ferry.
Yeah. It was super early in the morning, as it always is when we're on tour. I feel like
that's it, right?
Every time we go back, every time we go from the UK to mainland Europe, it's always a fucking overnight thing or something, or super early in the morning. Nobody's sleeping. And the ferry's real nice, though. And
well, it was super cool. We launched from Dover.
Yeah.
So as you pull away, you get like a really great panoramic view of the white cliffs of Dover.
Yeah, that's right.
That was really pretty.
And then you end up in
the
France.
Casino. And
then, that's right. We all did.
That was the one thing. We got stuck with. It was a funny deal because obviously you're in the UK and all the payouts and all the money and everything is in pounds.
That's right.
And then, so we were all on the ferry, and I think everybody that was left that had pounds, we kind of pumped it into the casino machines.
That's what you do.
Yeah, you just sort of,
especially if you got coins, because you can't usually exchange coins at the bank.
Right.
So if you win some dollar bills, then you got some money you can exchange.
Yeah. So the funniest thing that happened with that was Tom, our fantastic tour manager, had like a 10-pound note that he gave to Officer Bradford.
Yeah.
Because he stayed with the van, which you're not supposed to do.
Whatever.
I shouldn't have said that part.
Whatever.
Breaking law.
Yeah, that's right.
But
allegedly.
He gave Officer Bradford a 10-pound note, his last 10-pound note. And he was like, just put it all on black.
Yeah.
And get rid of it.
It's funny because you can't actually do that.
Right. There's no roulette.
It's all just
slots. Not how it goes. The slot machine. But apparently, Officer Bradford pumped 10 pounds into the slot machine, hit the button twice, and won $100.
Yeah, good for
or 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And so that was like, all right, I'm done. Just 10x to my money right there.
Yeah.
So Tom, at taken_by_Tom on Instagram to follow
good with that.
his Instagram feed. I'm a big fan of it. He's he's got a great eye. So photographer to photographer, what's up? Big shout out.
That's right.
And he promised that he would document every pint of beer that he bought with his winnings.
I wonder if he forgot about that.
Nope, he's not forgetting about it. I'm not going to let him forget about it.
He's going back to Ireland, and that's when he's going to do it.
Yep,
probably.
So when he gets back to Ireland and is back in the land of the pound, he will pound for pound beers.
Pound for pound.
And I want to see each and every one of them show up on your Instagram, Tom.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a shout out. We're going to hold you to it. I did a little bit of gambling and won some money too. Not nearly as good as Officer Bradford.
I think I pumped 15 pounds. I did the classic casino move of taking my 15 pounds and turning it into 0 pounds.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
That was good.
That's when you just got to keep going.
From 0?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. Well. Figure something out. But I did have a nice, what I like to call the full Irish breakfast. And
you had the full Irish. I had the full English. You had the full Irish.
Well, it's, I realized that, I had to get corrected by somebody, and somebody was like, well, there is such thing as a full Irish breakfast in real life. And I'm like, yeah, well, this is my version of it. It also is homage to this guy, Martin, who used to live in a town that I used to live in for a while, where he would go to his cocktail lounge and get this drink. And it's a pint of Guinness with a shot of espresso and a shot of Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
And that's a delicious breakfast.
So it's like an Irish car bomb with a coffee.
Well, there's no Bailey's or nothing in it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's just...
I mean, the way I do car bombs, there's very little Bailey's in it anyway.
Yeah.
It always annoys me when people float the whiskey on top of the Bailey's.
Oh.
Because you're supposed to float the Bailey's on top of the whiskey.
Yeah, I don't know. I just mix it up.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah. I just don't like Bailey's that much.
Yeah.
You ever drink Bailey's from Shoe?
I have to try that.
That's an old Greg reference right there.
All right.
Anyway, I think we got to wrap this one up and continue with part 3 of our tour report crossover between the Intruder Green podcast and I'll Take a Shot at That. If you would like to connect with us on social media, you can do that with I'll Take a Shot at That. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at Take a Shot at That, or just / Take a Shot at That after the URL. You can go to shotathat.com to find all of our archive and links and contact information. And if you'd like to personally support the show, you can do that at patreon.com/shotathat, where we're going to start putting out some tour photos coming up real soon. Green.
Yeah, I'm Intruder Green on all the social medias. If you want to hit me up on my Patreon, I love you guys on Patreon. Thanks for helping me out. It's just at patreon.com/Intruder Green. And you can also hit the call-in line. It's 1-608-535-9608.
Thanks, everybody, very much for listening. And tune in to part 3, the third and final installment of our tour crossover, coming at you next week.
Yeah.
And that's it for the Intruder Green podcast this week. I want to thank the Pears and Matthew for being on it. This wonderful crossover we're doing with I'll Take a Shot at That. You can always hit me up on Twitter at Intruder Green or Instagram. Check out the Instagram. I got some cool pictures up there. And, Facebook too. And please don't forget the call-in line. It's 1-608-535-9608. The Intruder Green podcast is produced by Colin Bennett, hair and makeup by Genevieve Smith, set design by Dylan Raymer, catering by Matthew Hendershot, lighting by Squeak Lights, Rahway, New Jersey. Our theme song is Particles by Typro. It is what it is.